Professor. My name is Pulkit Malhotra, and I am here to present on the topic allocated to me, functional magnetic resonance imaging. We all are aware of magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, but it would be great to understand functional magnetic resonance imaging. Before jumping directly on functional MRI, we need to understand the difference between an MRI and an fMRI. MRI is magnetic resonance imaging, and fMRI is functional magnetic resonance imaging. They both are medical imaging techniques that use strong magnetic field and radio waves to create images of the body. However, there are some important differences between them as well. First, being the imaging purpose. MRI is used primarily to create the detailed images of anatomical structures such as organs, tissues, and bones, while fMRI used to measure brain activity by detecting the changes in the blood flow. Second, being image contrast. MRI uses a contrast agent, a substance that is actually injected to the body to help enhance the contrast of the images, whereas fMRI does not require any contrast agents. Instead, fMRI directly relies on the difference in the magnetic properties of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood to basically create images that show changes in the blood flow associated within the brain activity. So basically, what is fMRI and how does it operate? Like I have mentioned above, fMRI is functional magnetic resonance imaging, which generates medical images by measuring the changes in the blood flow related to the brain activity. It also uses the strong magnetic fields and radio waves to create detailed images of the brain. Uh, but how does it operate? The important part is that during an fMRI scan, the patient actually lies still inside a large tunnel-like scanner, which you can see in the image, uh, while the machine actually generates a powerful magnetic field around it. And when the radio waves are applied to the magnetic field, the hydrogen atoms in the body tissue responds by generating signals and which are like detected by the scanner. These signals are then further used to create a 3D image of the brain, which can help us to analyze, identify specific areas of the brain. The best part is, and the most important part is that fMRI is a non-invasive and safe imaging technique that does not require ionizing radiations, making it a very, very important tool for diagnosing and treating neurological disorders. Now, what are the tools necessary for fMRI? High field MRI scanner, 1.5T or greater, bold effect fMRI signals, which increases with field strength, fast imaging sequence, usually ecoplanar imaging, EPI, stimulus presentation equipments like projector, which shows the visual stimuli, response devices such as button box to record subject's response, headphones for auditory stimuli, etc. So, what are the applications of fMRI? Research and clinical settings. fMRI is commonly used in neuroscience research to study brain function and understand basically how specific parts of the brain are involved in different tasks or processes. For example, researchers are right now focused in basically study how the brain processes languages or how different regions of the brain work together in order to solve a particular problem. While if we talk about clinical setting applications, then It could be used to diagnose and treat neurological disorders. Basically, fMRI is majorly used for neurological signs and neurological disorders only. For example, fMRI can help identify areas of the brain affected by neurological conditions such as a stroke or a brain tumor. It can also be used to map brain functions before the surgery to basically ensure that the areas of the brain are not particularly damaged during the procedure. Overall, fMRI is quite versatile. It's one of the most valuable tools and have many applications in both research as well as in clinical settings. Super Bowl ads. This was actually a study done by Marco and his team at UCLA. The goal was to identify the most effective Super Bowl ads by monitoring brain activities in the region of brains, which are known to help control whether the consumer will be buying or rejecting a particular pitch. And they actually used fMRI technology to measure brain responses in a group of subjects while they were actually watching Super Bowl ads. Participants viewed the commercial through goggles as they were laying inside a fMRI machine. The fMRI images showed the increased blood flow to specific areas of the brain that actually got activated due to watching the advertisements. And as you can see in the figure, the brain activity during a Disney ad showed increased blood flow at various locations of the brain while watching the FedEx ad, the blood flow increase was just seen at two locations precisely. And it figured out that they found out that the most effective ad while watching Super Bowl was that I'm going to Disney advertisement. This advertisement was the number one ranked advertisement at that point of time. So these are my references. I'm holding on for a second just for you to completely see which all references I used while making this presentation. Thank you so much, Professor. That's all from my side. Hope you liked the presentation.